What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? This is your boy Is Nefarious, and I am here for another YouTube series, and it's going to be a Madden 25 series. But the catch with this one is we are in May. This is May 1st, the day I'm recording this. We're in May, and we just finished the draft not too long ago, and we now have draft picks that have been made that have changed the trajectory of franchises. So that being said, I'm also part of the Madden modding community, where you get a bunch of cool things, and one of the cool features or one of the cool mods that they have is a start today mod that basically gives you all the rookies, all their faces as well. You get the little player icons, you get everything in this start today mod to make it feel like you're already playing Madden 26 without a actual new game. So that being said, we're here to start a new franchise, and obviously this is going to take place next season, and we got to decide which team we're going to go with. And before we pick our team, if you're enjoying the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. It all helps this channel grow. So we got to pick a team. Now obviously we want to go with a rebuild. There's a bunch of good options here. You got the Dolphins, who are necessarily a rebuild. You know, they got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Ramsey. They got a couple big guys and a couple regressing guys. So, you know, they're interesting. They're a rebuild. You got the Giants. You got the Patriots, the Jets. Jets are interesting ones, as well as the Giants. You also got the Jags. Shout out Mr. Franchise there. I forget what his name is, but he does a great job with his franchises. I watch his MLB stuff. Not so much the Madden stuff, but I watch a lot of MLB stuff. You got the Tennessee Titans, another good rebuild that you could actually select. You know, they got question marks at the quarterback position. They got question marks a lot of question marks in different positions. They're rated 81 overall across the board. They just got Cam Ward, so you know that is more so an easier one to go with when it comes to rebuilds. You got the Seahawks, who it says playoff hopeful, but they just drafted Jalen Milroe. They also gave a contract to, I forgot the quarterback they gave a contract to. It was Sam Darnold, if I'm not mistaken. But we've decided that what we're gonna do is go with the most publicized event from the draft, and that was the Shedeur Sanders fiasco. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this Cleveland Browns team, and we're gonna start our franchise with the Cleveland Browns, where we will try to play out this scenario of the quarterback battle. They got a bunch of high contracts that they have to deal with. Myles Garrett just got a huge deal, a massive deal. There's so much going on with this team, and they still need a quarterback. And they don't really have the greatest wide receivers. You got Jerry Jeudy, who's pretty good, but I feel like it'll be a tough rebuild. So the team we're gonna go with is the Cleveland Browns. That's the team we're going to take over, and I think I'm going to keep the coach. I might go with a owner mode. I have to really think about that. So we decided we are going to go with the owner, and we're going to hire a coach, run the coach's scheme, and really make decisions on who's going to be coaching this team, what kind of scheme we're going to be using, and really try to, you know, play this out as an owner of the Cleveland Browns. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an owner. We could do a lifelong fan, we could do a financial mongoose, or we could do a former player. We could definitely do a former player. I think that'd be the best way to go. And like great athletes that don't necessarily play the sport but end up buying a team from a town or a city where they have strong connections with, we're gonna go with the owner of not a former player. We're gonna actually go with a lifelong fan, because that wouldn't make sense for a former player. Kind of like the Magic Johnson treatment, we're gonna go with LeBron James, and he's going to take over as the part owner. He'll be a part owner because obviously he's still playing. LeBron James will be a part owner of the Cleveland Browns, and we'll see if LeBron James can bring this team to new heights and bring the city of Cleveland another championship, but this time obviously in the Super Bowl. instead of the NBA Finals. So let's go with LeBron James as our owner. Now we got to go ahead and start playing. And like I said, we're going to manage aspects of who the coordinators are going to be. And based on what coordinators we choose, that's the playbooks we're going to use. And honestly, we've had enough of Madden. We had enough of playing Madden, being in a 32-man league in PML. So we are just going to be playing moments, really handling storylines, kind of treating it like our MLB franchise. So that's going to be the goal here. LeBron James, now a part owner or full owner, if you want to say, of the Cleveland Browns. And can he rebuild this team or make the right moves to put people in the place to rebuild this team into a Super Bowl winning type of team? And before we kick it off, let me just show you some of the settings that we're using. This is the Start Today mod, so obviously a lot of these are already locked to make it as realistic as possible. We won't have the progression because we are going to use the My Franchise tool, which is the best way, and I think adds a whole nother aspect of storylines and things like that. So we are going to use the My Franchise tool for development. We are going to keep the superstar abilities. We obviously won't get breakout scenarios with the owner mode. We won't have fill roster on. We will turn that off. Minimum roster size, we're going to leave everything else the same, but it's going to be a sim type or realistic rebuild. We're going to try to make this as realistic as possible. Try not getting too crazy with the moves. Really think about the future when we're making moves. Will Shedeur Sanders be the answer to this franchise? Will it be Dillon Gabriel? Will it be a pick in the future? Who is going to be the answer to this franchise? That's the question. So without further ado, let's dive into it and let's see what we're dealing with. All right, with our team selected, now it's time to get to know the players that we have. We got an 82 overall roster right now. You got Myles Garrett there, but let's start position by position. Big note, Shedeur Sanders. You got him. He's a 70 overall, 71 with the temporary upgrade that he has right now. As you could see, the player likeness is there. He's got number 2. He's got 90 throw power, 82 deep, 80 medium, 80 short, and 80 awareness. So definitely a key part of this rebuild, potentially. If he develops nice, we use the My Franchise tool, so it's all random. He could progress real nice, or he could never progress at all. You also got Dillon Gabriel, another guy that was added. 88 throw power, 72 deep, 75 short, and then 74 it looked like medium, and then 84 short. Yeah. And he's also got 84 speed, 87 acceleration. Shedeur Sanders got 83 speed, 85 excel. I think that's pretty high for him. I don't think he's a burner necessarily. You got Quinshawn Junkins, who seems to be the replacement back for Nick Chubb. 90 speed, 91 acceleration, 90 agility as well. Pretty decent change of direction. You got Dylan Sampson, who they drafted. He's another option, 5'8" rookie. He's got 92 speed, 94 acceleration, so pretty solid there. You got Pierre Strong, and then you also got Jerome Ford. Taking a look at the wide receiver position, a lot of veterans here. Jerry Jeudy, the leading wide receiver there. As you can see, 91 speed, 84 overall, and pretty good likeness. They do a good job with the likeness as well. No rookies to note in this this group of wide receivers. Tight ends, you got Harold Fannin Jr. Apparently they didn't have a picture for him, but 6'3", 82 speed, 241 pounds, rookie tight end. But you got David Njoku in front of him, so we got a pretty good tight end room. Other than that, the offensive line is who you expect. Nothing crazy, no rookies that I believe they took in the draft. You also got Conklin, Dewan Jones. Dewan Jones is going to be a key component to progress for us. We're going to need him to progress nicely to have a good offensive line. You also got the rookie in Mason Graham that was drafted, as you can see here. Pretty good stats, 86 strength, 84 power moves, 77 finesse, tackles at 84. He looks pretty dang solid, I will say that. You got Mike Hall Jr. He's not a rookie, but he is a young piece that could develop for us. Taking a look at the contract, I actually wanted to take a look at the contract. of Myles Garrett. As you can see, the penalty right now is 143 million. Take a look at the left outside linebackers. You got Jerome Baker, Devin Bush, and Diabate. Some speed at linebacker. You really get a lot of speed here. You got the rookie Carson Swishinger. He's a hidden dev, 6'3", 42 pounds, 90 speed, 85 tackle, hit powers at 84. He kind of looks like Joey Bosa. I ain't gonna hold. Looks like Joey Bosa there. So that's a young piece that we hope develops. He's got a development trait already. You got Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, and Martin Emerson in the cornerback room. I could see why they traded the pick and didn't take Travis Hunter, which we'll take a look at some of the big rookies that were drafted this past draft. You got Ronnie Hickman there, Grant Delpit, and Donovan McMillan, who's a rookie. I'm not quite sure on his likeness. I don't know much about Donovan McMillan, but he looks nothing like the player profile. I can tell you that. So some big rookies that were taken in this past draft, we'll get to see them as well. I want to be able to take a look at some of these guys. You got the #1 overall pick in Cam Ward, which we'll go see. So Cam Ward, as you can see, he has the hidden development. I think they did pretty damn good with the likeness. 892 throw power, 80 accuracy across the board. A throw on the runs, 80 break sacks, 80 throw under pressure, 75. You know, not high overall. 86 speed, 89 excel. I wonder. You also have Khalil Mullins, who's a rookie. Taking a look at him, 70 overall, 88 speed, 89 excel, 84 agility. And don't worry about if you see a lot of these rookies being 70 overall. We're going to run that My Franchise tool, and that pretty much does the job for us. You get a 66 overall Gunnar Helm, but we want to stick with the top tier rookies. Let's take a look at the running back position. And the Raiders took Ashton Genty. He's a hidden dev, 5'9", 211 pounds, 93 speed. As you can see, the likeness is there too. So Ashton Genty is going to be a huge piece for this Raiders team. We also got Ted McMillan. He was drafted. I forgot what team he actually got drafted to. So I gotta go and search. I'll figure it out. Ted was taken by... Oh, the Panthers. That's right. So Ted McMillan, a 75 overall wide receiver. Hidden dev. 92 speed, 93 acceleration. And he's a big boy at 6'4", 219. So a nice piece to go with Xavier Legette. So the wide receiver room getting a little bit better over there in Carolina. Take a look at the Patriots, my team. The left tackle, Will Campbell, that was taken. As you can see, the player likeness updated. They even got the eye paint that he likes to wear. They also got, Kyle Williams, 71 overall, Kyle Williams. Wonder what his speed is. 92 speed, not bad. It'll be an interesting piece. You also got Travion Henderson. Number 32, the likeness is good, 92 speed. Did they have any? Julian Ashby was a post-draft pickup, a UDFA. I don't think they drafted. Who else did they draft that I want to take a look at? They also drafted Jared Wilson. He's a 71 overall center. That's not bad. Other big rookies to really take a look at. Trying to think of the top 10 off the top of my head. So yeah, Travis Hunter. Let's go take a look at Travis Hunter. See what he looks like. They might have him both as they don't. So they just have him as a corner right now. So you got Travis Hunter right here. A 76 overall hidden dev, 95 speed, 83 man coverage, zone coverage at 69. Good acceleration, good agility. Really good piece there. What else we got? Oh, Abdul Carter. Let's take a look at Abdul Carter. Right outside linebacker, hidden dev, 6'3", 250. He's got 88 speed, 93 acceleration, so they didn't make him crazy fast, which I like. He's a really nice piece for this Giants team, though. We already took a look at Mason Graham. Other than that, Who did the Bears? I think got the offensive lineman, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's who they took. Was it a guard? Was it Newman? Didn't they take a offensive lineman in the top 10? Or am I wrong on that? It was a tight end, Loveland. That was the 9th overall pick. Take a look at him. 74 overall, not bad. 6'6", 248, 82 speed. He's not super fast, but should be a nice little piece for this team. You also got Armand Membo, the tackle that was taken by the Jets. We'll take a look at him. Just want to show the top 10 at least. So he's a 74 overall, 21-year-old, 6'4", 332. He's kind of small. Nothing great, not great strength, I could say that. The strength is kind of low. You also had some other quarterbacks. Let's take a look at a lot of the quarterbacks that were taken. So taking a look at some of the other quarterbacks, you had Quinn Ewers, who was taken, who's supposed to be a pretty decent prospect coming out. 92 throw power, 80 deep, 75 mid, 80 short. Taking a look at Jalen Milroe. He's an interesting one. Obviously, somebody with speed. He's got 93 speed, 95 excel, 91 agility. I almost thought about doing the Seahawks as a rebuild, but he's going to be interesting to watch. Obviously, a dual threat quarterback like that with a lot of speed. You got Jackson Dart that was taken by the Giants. Normal dev, 91 throw power. Nothing too crazy. Got pretty decent accuracies there. Other than that, no huge guys to really talk about. We talked about Ewers, Will Howard. Obviously, there was some notions about him. He's got 90 throw power, 67 overall. Another interesting guy as a rookie, Omarion Hampton, 78 overall. He's up 2, so he's a 76 base. He's got a dev trait, 90 speed, a big back, 6 foot, 221. So he's going to be interesting to watch. Dylan Sampson's real young. Phil Maffa, I don't know why the name is not capitalized. We'll have to edit that. Wide receivers, besides Tet, you also had Luther Burden. He's a 76 overall. Taking a look at his ratings, 92 speed, 93 excel. I like the likeness as well. They do a good job with the likeness. You got Jimmy Horn Jr. that was taken by the Panthers. Other than that, Dante Thornton looks ridiculous. 6'5", 205, and 96 speed. He looks absolutely ridiculous. You know, people would love to have him in a CFM. Other interesting, Amika Ibuka, 73 overall. Got Torrey Horton, who's a 70 overall. When it came to the tight end position, we'll take a look at that. Fannin Loveland was a 74. There's also another one we wanted to take a look at. The actual guy that was supposed to go above that, Loveland. I don't know why I forgot his name. He ended up falling a little further in the draft. You know, maybe just a preference there. Tyler Warren, and he's actually more athletic, 87 speed. He's a little bigger, I think, too. 6'6", 256, 87 speed. The Colts, that's like kind of what he ends up. That's a steal for the Colts. I really like that pick for the Colts. Taking a look at Will, I want to take a look at Will Johnson. We got Benjamin Morrison, who was a 72. Nate Wiggins, 79. What do we got for a Will Johnson? 75 overall, 92 speed, 6'2", 194 pounds. So that's mainly what I wanted to show you. Nobody else I could really think of. Michael Williams is 73 overall. Shamar Stewart. Got Cedric Johnson. On the right end, Nick Scorton is a 70 overall. Defensive tackles, Walter Nolan, 70. Kenneth Grant at 73. Mason Graham, our guy, is 76. I mean, at 74. So some pretty decent guy. Oh, we got to take a look at Watson. Desmond Watson. The massive human being that Desmond Watson is. We'll go to the Buccaneers. They should have him in here. Get David Walker. Oh, they don't have him, huh? No Desmond Watson, huh? surprised they don't have him on this roster. But that's the roster. And, you know, some of the rookies just wanted to show you around the league. Now we got to do the My Franchise tool. Before we start the season, we run the My Franchise tool that updates the player progression and does everything. We also run a free agency tool that gets free agents assigned to teams that need them, and a bunch of different tools. And then we're going to pick it up on the other side and talk about some of the changes from running that tool. So after all the tools that we ran, which was fill the training camp roster, a free agency lottery pool, and then also the player progression. Those are the three main ones to really talk about. The rest was, you know, moving people in positions to make sure that the roster looks okay. So that's all done. Now let's talk about what happened in that situation and in those tools. No progression from any quarterback. That's the downside. Not a single quarterback got any progression. So we still got questions on who is going to be the starter and who is going to be progressing for us. So unfortunately, no questions on the quarterback front. We did get some stuff for the running back front. We ended up getting Jerome Ford up to an 85 overall. So he's an 85 overall. We got J.K. Dobbins behind him at an 82. Junkins at a 75. So a nice progression for Jerome Ford at 85 overall. Taking a look at the wide receiver position, we didn't get no progression there. We also got some progression in other aspects. A lot on the offensive line. That's one thing. We did get a lot of progression on the offensive line. As you can see, it filled out the roster a little bit for us. Taking a look at the offensive line, you got Trevin Jenkins, who actually went up by 3 to an 86. You also got Zach Zinter, who went up by 3 as well to a 73 overall. Taking a look at the center position, you got Weipler, who's a young center. He went up by 4 overall, so he went from a 66 to a 70. And then at the right tackle position, you had DeJuan Jones go up from a 70 to a 75. So good progression for him. And knowing that we need some help at the tackle position, him progressing to a 75 overall really helps us. Taking a look at the defense, we did have a couple people progress on the defense. The middle linebacker, you had Carson Schwessinger. I am going to figure out how to pronounce that correctly. He went up to an 80 overall. He improved by 6 overalls. So he went from a 74 to an 80. He got a massive boost. And then you get a slight boost to JOK. JOK went from an 83 to an 85. So those were all the development from the first run of this progression tool. And then at the end, we'll have another run at the end of the season. And then also they have a stats matter tool that also takes stats into effect. So some good development for us, which we like to see. And obviously it also happened for everybody around the league. So good news there. And now we're able to finally start this preseason. We're going to have some interesting position battles. Shadur Sanders, Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco. You're also going to have Deshaun Watson, who's injured actually. Dylan Gabriel's also in there. The running back position, you really don't have a position battle there. Number 2 wide receiver is going to be a position battle. Is it Tillman? DeAndre Carter, is he going to be in a slot? David Bell, Jamari Thrash, Ty Felton. You got a bunch of guys that we could really take a look at. That number 2 tight end, probably going to be Fannin Jr., but that's another position battle. The offensive tackle position, who's going to start at the left tackle? Is it going to be DeJuan Jones? Is it going to be Lucas? Could it even be like somebody like Wyatt Teller? I know he's 6'4". We could even think about Tevin Jenkins. Will any of these guys be able to play the tackle position? Will DeJuan Jones be able to play left tackle, even though he's naturally a right tackle? We got some interesting stuff on the other side of Myles Garrett, who is going to step up as the other edge rusher in the preseason. We also got the interior. Mason Graham's there, but you got Malik Collins, Shelby Harris, and Mike Hall Jr. And then you got someone like Jawan Briggs, who's in his second year. That's close. Sam Kamara, probably not going to make it, but, you know, he's there as well. Middle linebacker, you got Schwessinger and Hicks. You also got JOK. You got Gardek, who's out there. You also got Jerome Baker and Devin Bush that will have a little position battle as well, and Diabate, who could potentially be another guy that's in that position battle. When it comes to the number 3 corner, you got Martin Emerson, but Cameron Mitchell's right there as well. So you get a lot of position battles to really look forward to in this series, and we like to highlight some of that and have some storylines for you. So without further ado, let's start by talking about what this team is going to look like right now. If we started week 1 today, who's our starters? So right now, I think it's Joe Flacco's position to lose when it comes to the starting quarterback. Obviously, we're going to have a battle this whole preseason that we'll pay attention to. But Joe Flacco, it's his position to lose. Kenny Pickett is the second in line. Then I would have Dylan Gabriel for being drafted above Shadur, and Shadur fourth on that list, and I think that's just because of where they're drafted. Obviously, in preseason, based on how Shadur plays and how other people play, you could get a situation where Shadur actually leapfrogs all these guys and becomes a starter. But it's an open battle with all 4 quarterbacks right now. When it comes to the running back position, I think Jerome Ford has it. You got Quinshawn Junkins, who we're going to pay attention to. We're also going to pay attention to Dylan Sampson. Right now, J.K. Dobbins is up there as well as one of the top running backs in this depth chart. But obviously, with stuff that goes on and the way they perform in preseason, we should get a taste of all these rookies and all these running backs to see who's going to stay, who's going to go. Fullback position doesn't really matter. We have a backup tight end there. Jerry Jeudy, the number 1, he's going to move into the slot for us and play slot. But then you're going to have Tillman and Thrash on the outside. Obviously, we're going to need more improvement there. We don't have great wide receivers, but we do have David Njoku, which is a nice piece. Then we're going to have Fannin Jr. right behind him. We're going to have Brandon Bates as the third tight end. You got Whiteheart here as well that we're going to pay attention to, and Sanahara, who is actually a long snapper, so we're not even worried about him. When it comes to the offensive line, I think they move Conklin over to left tackle. Left guard is Batonio. Taking a look at the center, I think Wyatt Teller slides right into the center position. You could also make a case for Batonio to slide into that center position. Take a look at the right guard. You got Tevin Jenkins and Zach Zinter. You got DeJuan Jones starting right tackle. You got Lucas behind him. And I think that's what the offensive line at its best would be. You got Shoyanka, who will be the left end out opposite of Myles Garrett. Interior, you got Mason Graham. When you spend that high of a draft pick on somebody, I think they automatically have to be a starter. He was a top 5 pick. I think he's going to be number 1, and it's going to be his job to lose. Then you have Shelby Harris and Malik Collins there as well. Mike Call is also going to be an interesting one. I think they move Carson Schwessinger over to the left outside linebacker. I will pronounce his name once correctly in this whole series, I promise. You got Jordan Hicks in the middle, Devin Bush behind him. They run a 4-3 based on what I'm seeing here. You got JOK on the right outside linebacker and cornerback. Obviously, Denzel Ward will actually put him at the number 2, so he gets number 1 matchups. And then you have Greg Newsome and Martin Emerson out there. You got Quandre Diggs and Ronnie Hickman, Grant Delpit and Donovan McMillan. Obviously, the kicker doesn't matter. Our kick return is going to be DeAndre Carter. He's also going to be a punt returner. You got Dylan Sampson right behind him. Third down back, we're going with J.K. Dobbins. Jerome Ford as the power back. Slot wide receiver, like I said, Jerry Jeudy. We're going to have Myles Garrett rush off the left end in the rush scenarios. We're going to have Okoronkwo, did I do that right? Well, he's going to rush off the other side in rushing scenarios. You also have Gerdek, who is high speed, and it looks like he's got pretty good pass rush moves. He'll step in and potentially win this job. It is an open competition to see who's going to be the opposite edge rusher, Myles Garrett, because Myles Garrett is obviously a world beater, but we have a lot of questions when it comes to the opposite edge. Take a look at the interior right now. We're going to have Mike Hall, Malik Collins, and then you're going to have some other people kind of battle it out, but Mason Graham's going to be the number 1 rushing defensive tackle. Sub linebacker, right now we got JOK, obviously one of the better linebackers in the league. Jordan Hicks behind him, and then Devin Bush. Take a look at the slot corner. You got Martin Emerson there, but obviously a open battle for another corner to take. I wish they had more stats for corners and things like that, and we could kind of tell who won the battle based on stats. but it'll be difficult to do so. But with that being said, this is the team, this is the franchise we're going with. Start today, and we're going to be able to see if we could take this Browns team and make them into something. Will Shedeur Sanders be the GOAT for us? Will he turn out to be the right choice at quarterback? Will the quarterback search finally stop in Cleveland? That's the biggest thing. But that's going to do it for this one. If you're enjoying the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm your boy, Is Nefarious, and I'm out of here.